Hi everybody, we're on week 8 of our YouTube yoga classes and as usual we're going to start off our practice with some pranayama practice. So bring yourselves into a comfortable seated position on your mat. You can be kneeling, you can be cross-legged, you can use blocks or cushions, sit up against the wall if that feels better for you. Important thing is to have your hips above your shoulders above your hips in a comfortable seated position. You want your upper chest gently lifted, so your collarbones gently lifting up so the front of the body is long and relaxed. And then close your eyes for a few moments. Give yourself some time bringing yourself into your yoga practice. So take a couple of deeper, longer breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you breathe out, feel that wave of calm relaxation wash over your body. So allow that out breath to take away any thoughts of what's happened in the day, the week, any thoughts of what's going to happen in the future. Each time you breathe out, just letting go, bringing yourself back into your practice. Keeping your eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. Being aware of the in-breath and the out-breath, breathing in and out through your nose. Become aware of the sensations of your breath. So any feelings that the breath brings. Notice the movements in your body that your breath creates. Feeling the breath at the tip of the nose. Anything that you find easy to focus on related to your breath. So it might be the feel of the breath, you might hear the sound of the breath. And notice that as you sit quietly, the breath also begins to quieten, begins to settle. Simply observing your natural breath. Now we're going to begin to direct the breath a little. So think of a place just behind your belly button, behind your navel, and breathing in. Imagine that you could take your breath to that place. So breathing in a little deeper, taking your breath down into the bottom of the lungs. And now as you breathe in, filling the lungs from the bottom and then the middle and then the top. And emptying the lungs from the bottom and then the middle and then the top. A full deep breath. Good. And the next time you breathe out, I'd like you to place your hand, just the palm of your hand on your collarbone. So perhaps make an L shape with your thumb and your index finger and place your thumb on one collarbone and your index finger on the other. So your hand is resting on your upper chest. And then feel that you can breathe into that place beneath your hand. Having your eyes closed really helps. And as you breathe in, you may notice a gentle lifting of the hand as you breathe in, and then it falls back gently as you breathe out. Good. So know that it's fine to replace the hand on your upper chest at any time you need to, if that helps you to keep the focus in that area. So knowing that as we breathe into the upper chest, we refer to this as pranayama. Breathing into the upper chest, and know that the upper chest isn't just at the front where we have the hands, but there's a cross section all the way through your body. So the lungs go all the way around to the back of your body as well. So we sometimes forget to breathe into the back of the body. So as you breathe into the upper chest, thinking about expanding the lungs in all directions in the upper chest region. Good, and then still with your eyes closed, we're going to start to circle the awareness around the upper chest. As we breathe in, thinking front of the upper chest, sides of the upper chest, back of the upper chest. And as you breathe out, back, sides, front. So the breath moving around the upper chest, front, sides, back as you breathe in, and back, sides, front as you breathe out. And continuing to breathe in that way. Upper chest, pranayama. Front, sides, back as you breathe in. Back, sides, front as you breathe out. If you're comfortable with the flow of the breath, perhaps replace the words front, sides, back with a count. And you can count in for 6 and out for 6. So breathing 2 in the front, 2 in the sides and 2 in the back. And then as you breathe out, 2 in the back, 2 in the sides and 2 in the front. The in-breath and the out-breath are at equal length, breathing in for 6 and breathing out for 6. The awareness still rotating around the upper chest. And the next time you breathe out, release the count, release the focus on the upper chest, and allow the breath to flow wherever it would naturally flow, but keeping your eyes closed for a few moments longer. Just noticing any changes in the breath since we started the practice. Perhaps the breath feels a little calmer. Your mind may feel a little calmer. And then whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes and take a stretch out in any way that feels good for you. We're going to use a belt for our stretches in a moment, so please, if you don't have your belt handy, then pause the video and go and find yourself a belt. And then when you're ready, lying on your backs, coming into a supine position, and have your belt handy. Starting with both knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And without using the hands or the belt to start with, we're going to work on the breath. So breathing in, draw the right knee into the chest. Breathing out, extend the heel up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, draw the knee back to the chest. Breathing out, place the foot on the floor. Left leg, breathing in, bring the left knee into the chest. Breathing out, push the heel up to the ceiling. Breathing in, knee to chest. Breathing out, sole of the foot to the floor. Go right again, breathing in and breathing out and breathing in. And if you're okay with this, on the out breath, you can extend the leg all the way along the mat. And then go to the left on your own breath now. It's fine to keep the knees bent and soles of the feet on the floor if that feels better for you. Making the most out of this opening sequence by drawing the knee as high up to the chest as you can, keeping the knee high up as you straighten the leg, flex the toes back towards you. So let's do one more round on the right first. Good, and the next time your right knee comes in, extend the leg away and then hold it up without the hands, just extending that heel away, drawing the toes back towards you, feeling this stretch up the back of the leg. And then we're going to do 10 pulses, so keeping the leg nice and straight, we're thinking about pulsing the feet a little bit close to the face. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then release that leg back to the floor. Let's go to the left, breathing in, draw the knee in, breathing out, extend the back of the leg so it's straight, push the heel up towards the ceiling, flex the toes back towards your face. Keeping that leg nice and straight and holding here. And then let's do our 10 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then release that leg down to the floor. Take hold of your belts. Bend the right knee into the chest. Wrap the belt around the ball of the foot. If you can hold the toe, then go ahead and hold the toe. Just grip the big toe. If you're using the belt, straighten the leg out. So you're holding both ends of the belt at the moment. And you want your arms to be straight. So feed your hands up towards your foot until your arms are straight. Good. Find a place where you can feel a good stretch up the back of your leg. Keep pushing the heel away, keep the leg as nicely open as you can, and then gently draw the toe back towards your face. If this means that your arms bend and you're holding the belt, then simply move the hands up towards your foot a little bit more. Good. Using ujjayi breathing, so a gentle softening of the breath as you breathe out. Taking your left arm out to the side, looking towards your left hand, feeling that your left hip is heavy on the floor. We're slowly going to take the right leg out to the side. Pausing when you feel the left hip beginning to become light. And we'll just allow the leg and the muscles in the inner thigh to begin to soften here. If you're using the belt, then you need to transfer both ends of the belt into one hand to do this, into your right hand. And then breathing in, drawing the leg back into the centre, bending the knee, releasing the belt, and allowing that leg to come down to the floor. Bend your left knee in. Hook the belt around the ball of the foot or holding onto the big toe, and extend the left leg up to the ceiling. So once again, if you're holding onto the belt, just walk the hands up your belt until your arms are straight and you're hanging off of the foot with your hands. Breathing in, feel that straightness up the leg as you push the heel up towards the ceiling, flex the toes back towards your face, and a nice soft out breath, and perhaps you can increase the stretch in the back of your leg a little. The right leg is still active along the mat, so the toes of the right leg are pointing up towards the ceiling, the toes of the left back towards your face. If you're using a belt, transfer both ends of the belt into your left hand now. Take your right hand out to the side, look towards your right hand. Very slowly beginning to take that left leg out to the side, pausing when you feel this right hip becoming light. And breathing here, opening slowly. Taking a mental note while you're lying here of your body's position. So your hips are both flat on the floor and your leg is out to the side. Notice the angle that your leg makes with your hips. So for most of us, the leg won't be flat on the floor, especially if we kept this hip down. And then breathing in, draw the leg back to the centre, release the belt, bend the leg, and bring both soles of the feet onto the floor. Roll over onto your sides and coming up into cat position. So coming onto all fours, your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. We want a gentle drawing in with the abdomen all the time. And we're going to work through some cat breath. So on the in-breath, lift your tailbone to the sky, shrug your shoulders back and down, and allow the head to lift. And as you breathe in, tuck the tailbone under, push your back up to the ceiling, and the head comes down between the arms. Breathing in from the tailbone, then the shoulders, and then the head lifts. Breathing out, rounding the back, pushing through the hands and allowing the head to come down. Breathing in, feeling that movement in the spine, becoming a little bit more fluid each time we breathe. Feeling the breath flow up the spine. One more round, breathing in, cat head up, shrug the shoulders down your spine, and breathing out, separate the shoulder blades, push through the hands, and the head can hang down. Good. So the next time you breathe in, come to a neutral cat. So we're not slumped in the shoulders, nor are we too arched. We're supporting our weight nicely through our hands, through our shoulders, drawing the belly in towards your spine. Imagine that you had a patch of Velcro, one on the outside of your shoulder, one on the outside of this hip. And we're going to see if we can't get those two bits of Velcro to meet. Keep the belly drawn in and stretching over to your left. And then breathe in, come back to the centre, breathe out. Do the same on the other side. So the right shoulder to the right hip. Breathing in, come back to centre. Breathing out, left shoulder to left hip. Breathing in, back to centre. And breathing out, right shoulder to right hip. So do another 3 rounds on both sides. Breathing in to come forwards and breathing out to take that side stretch. You could look back towards your hip if that helps, but know that the majority of the movement is happening in the spine and the sides of the body. And then when you're done on both sides, come back to a neutral cat. We're going to thread the needle, so lift your right hand and thread it underneath the left side of your body, so the back of the hand and the arm come all the way to the floor. Your right shoulder comes to the floor and the right side of your face can rest on the floor. Good. You want to feel equal weight through both knees so that the hips are staying level. A nice gentle twist through the spine. Left hand stays on the floor for now. And then to come out, gently pushing on that left hand to draw you back up and go to the other side. So left hand threads through the underside of the right body and we bring the left arm onto the floor. Both knees equally weighted down so that the hips stay level and the twist is in the spine. Pushing through the right hand to draw yourselves back up into cat. Tucking the toes under, swinging the hips back towards the heels. Push through the hands so that the knees lift off of the floor. And if you keep pushing and lifting with the hips, you come into downward facing dog. Look towards your hands. Step towards your hands. Bring your hands to your hips. Breathing in and bringing yourselves into Tadasana. And coming to the front of your mats now, we're going to work through our surya namaskar practice. I'll guide you through 3 surya namaskar A and 2 surya namaskar B. If you prefer to do 5 surya namaskar A's, that's absolutely fine. Tailor the practice to what suits you. You may choose to do 1 and then rest and do another one, whatever works for you. Good. So coming into Tadasana, big toe joints towards each other, heels are slightly apart. Just unstick the feet, so unstick the heels, and when you come back down, the outer edges of the feet come to the floor. Unstick the toes, spread the toes, and place them all back down so that you can perhaps see a little bit of mat through your toes. Gentle lifting up with the knees and the thighs, tailbones drawing down as the abdomen, the belly draws into the spine. Keep the lower ribs tucked in as you lift up through the body, shoulders down away from the ears. The chin is level with the mat. Draw your hands to prayer position at the heart center. Good, let's breathe in together and breathe out together. On the next in-breath, lift your hands to the sky. Look up if that's okay in the neck. And as you breathe out, take your hands to the floor, soften your knees if you need to, allow the head to relax down. As you breathe in, weight through the hands, lift the tailbone and lift the heart. And as you breathe out, either jumping or stepping back into plank or chaturanga, elbows bent. Breathing in, scooping the chest forwards, lifting up into your back arch. This might be upward facing dog, pushing deeply through the hands. Or if that's too much for you, drop the hips down, bend the elbows, cobra. As you breathe out, pushing your way back into downward facing dog, and we're resting here for 5 breaths. Breathing in for 1. And breathing out for 1, adjust the hands and the feet. Breathing in for 2. And breathing out for 2, spreading the fingers. Breathing in for 3. And breathing out for 3, you want the index finger pointing forwards. Breathing in for 4. And breathing out for 4, pushing the balls of the fingers down. Breathing in for 5. And as you breathe in, come up onto the toes, gaze towards the front of your mat, take the shoulders forwards and jump or step forwards. Breathing in, lifting your heart, lengthening your spine. Breathing out, taking that length as you forward fold. Breathing in, coming all the way up, leading with the heart. Lifting up to the sky with the fingers, breathing out, back to Tadasana. Breathing in, number 2, extending through the fingertips to the ceiling. As you breathe out, forward fold, keep the tail high. Breathing in, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Breathing out, jumping or stepping back, pushing through the hands, plank or chaturanga. Scooping forwards with the heart, lift the heart, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing out, back over the toes, pushing into downward facing dog. Breathing in for 1. And breathing out for 1, lifting the tailbone to the sky. Breathing in for 2. Breathing out for 2, feel the armpits sinking down towards the toes. Breathing in for 3. Breathing out for 3, perhaps wrapping the triceps around to your ears. Breathing in for 4. And breathing out for 4, the neck still relaxed and loose. Breathing in for 5. Breathing out, come up onto the toes, gaze forwards, jumping or stepping towards your hands. Breathing in, keep the tailbone lifted as you lift the heart. Breathing out, folding into your forward bend, draw the belly in. Breathing in, lifting up with the heart, up to the ceiling with your fingers. Breathing out, Tadasana. Number 3, breathing in, lifting, extending with the heart. Breathing out, taking the hands to the earth, tuck the chin in. Breathing in, lifting, extending, create space. Breathing out, jumping or stepping back, push through the hands. Breathing in, push through the hands as you lift into upward facing dog, chest comes forwards. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Breathing in for 1. And breathing out for 1, extending through the back of the knees. Breathing in for 2. And breathing out for 2, taking the heels back and down. Breathing in for 3. And breathing out for 3, maximum length from your heels to your sit bones. Breathing in for 4. And breathing out for 4. Breathing in for 5. And as you breathe out, lift up onto the toes, gaze forwards, jumping or stepping towards your hands. Breathing in, lift and lengthen. Breathing out, keep that length as you forward fold. Breathing in, leading with the heart as you come all the way up. And breathing out, back into Tadasana. So you could do another 2 Surya Namaskar A, or join me with some Surya Namaskar B. As we breathe in, bend the knees deeply, lift the heart, lift the gaze, lift the thumbs. Breathing out, Uttanasana. Breathing in, lifting up with the heart. Breathing out, jumping or stepping back, plank or chaturanga. Breathing in, upward facing dog. Breathing out, downward facing dog. We're stepping forward with the right foot between the hands. Breathing in, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Breathing out, place the hands back to the floor, back into plank or chaturanga, elbows squeezing in. Breathing in, upward dog. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward now, breathing in, Virabhadrasana 1. And breathing out, hands to the floor, plank or chaturanga. Breathing in, scooping forwards, lifting up. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Breathing in for 1. And breathing out for 1. Breathing in for 2. And breathing out for 2. Breathing in for 3. Breathing out for 3, using Ujjayi breath. Breathing in for 4. And breathing out for 4. Breathing in for 5. And as you breathe out, come up onto the toes, gaze forwards, making space under your body to jump or step forwards. Breathing in, lift the heart, draw the belly in, and Uttanasana on the out breath. When you next breathe in, drop the hips to the floor, bend the knees deeply, lift the heart, lift the fingers, lift the gaze, Utkatasana, and breathing out, back to your start. Last one, number 2, breathing in, Utkatasana, breathing out, folding, Uttanasana, tuck the chin in. Breathing in, lifting and extending, breathing out, jumping or stepping back. Breathing in, scooping forwards with the heart. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Stepping the right leg forward first. Breathing in, Virabhadrasana 1. Breathing out, plank, chaturanga, elbows squeezing in. Pushing through the hands, upward facing dog. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward, breathing in, Virabhadrasana 1. And breathing out, plank or chaturanga. Breathing in, scooping forwards, lifting up, upward facing dog. Breathing out, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And on your last 5th out breath, come up onto the toes, look forwards, jumping or stepping towards your hands, breathing in, lengthen through the spine, breathing out, Uttanasana. As you breathe in, bend the knees deeply, lift the chest, lift the fingers, gaze to the thumbs, and breathing out, drawing the hands back to your heart center. And take a few breaths here, absorbing that energy, allowing your breathing to settle, appreciating that heat, that space, appreciating your body for the work it does. Release the hands. Good. Come to the centre of your mat. We're going to come into a balance, so if you'd rather be by the wall, please feel free to go to the wall. You may also need your belts. So if you needed the belts when we were having our laying down hamstring stretch earlier, then you'll need your belts now. We're going to come into a posture called Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, which is a standing balance. So feeling first of all that you're grounded through both feet, rocking backwards and forwards a few times, and then coming into that centre line where there is least effort required to hold yourself upright. Good. We're going to draw the right knee up. If you're using the belt, wrap the belt around the ball of the foot and hold both ends of the belt on the inside of the leg. If you can, and you know you can straighten the leg without the belt, then hold on to your big toe. Good. So we want to start with the knee nice and high. And then when you're feeling okay with the balance, begin to slowly extend the leg out in front of you. Push the heel away, draw the toes of the foot back towards you. Find something still, either on the floor or the wall in front of you, and allow your gaze to soften. So we're going to slowly take the leg out to the side. We want to keep both hips facing forward to keep that standing knee safe and facing forwards. So only take the leg as far as you know you can keep the hips level. Keep actively lifting up through your hip with the standing leg. And then very slowly drawing that leg back into the centre. Bending the knee, releasing the toe or the belt, and coming back to Tadasana. Just take a few moments to feel grounded through both feet. Feel free to rock backwards and forwards a couple of times, find that centre line once more. And then when you're ready, let's go to the other side. So lifting the left knee up. If you're using the belt, wrap the belt around the ball of the foot and hold both ends of the belt on the inside of the leg. Knee nice and high. The other hand can be on the hip, it can be on the wall next to you, or just out to the side if that helps with your balance. And then when you're ready, extending that left leg out, feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, extending, pushing through that heel. Lift up in this standing hip so that you're not collapsing through the hip. So keep that alignment, ankle, knee, hip. When you're ready, keeping both hips facing forwards and taking that leg out to the side. Pausing when you begin to feel that stretch and you've got your maximum hip opening. When you're ready, very slowly drawing the leg back to the centre, pausing for a breath, then bending the knee, releasing the belt or releasing the hands. Good. Now stepping to the front of your mat, towards the fronts of your mats, we're going to take a big step back with the left leg. So a nice big wide stride. You want your right toes facing along the long edge of the mat, and you want a decent angle with your back foot. So 45 degrees is a good one, and you just adjust it so that your knee feels comfortable. Hips are going to be flexible, but we're going to take the chest, the shoulders and the arms out to the sides so that we're along the long edge of the mat. Good, breathing in here. As you breathe in, take a micro bend in the front knee, in your right knee, and then stretch away into the right hand, keeping this left hip back and feeling that you're keeping this lovely openness in the underside of the body. Keep stretching away, and then take your hand to wherever it reaches. It might be the knee, the shin, the ankle. You may reach down to the floor. So wherever you reach is absolutely fine. Important thing is that we keep this openness in the chest, one shoulder stacked above the other. Once you're here, you can begin to straighten that front leg. Keep the chest open. Take your top hand down to your hip, so the arms straight along the side of your body with the palm facing down. As you breathe in, sweep the arm overhead. You can follow it with your gaze. And breathing out, back to the centre, back to your hip. Breathing in, sweep it up. And breathing out, back to the centre. Breathing in, sweep it up. Breathing out, back to your hip. This time breathing in, sweeping up, all the way up to the ceiling. And breathe here. So one hand's down on the floor in front of your foot or on your leg, the other arm up to the ceiling, extending through the fingertips. And to come out, we're going to soften the front knee, push through that front foot to lift you up, and then step towards the fronts of your mats. And then we're going to go to the other side. I'm just going to swap sides so that I don't turn my back to you. So this time we're going to step back with the right foot. So the left toes facing forward. We've got the angle on the back foot. Turn the chest, the shoulders and the arms out to the sides. Breathing in here. Slight micro bend with that knee. Stretch away towards your left. And then take the hand to wherever it reaches. It's fine to place blocks on the floor on the inside of the foot, if that will help bring the floor up to you. Begin to straighten that leading leg. Open up in the hips and take the right hand down so it's alongside your body with the palm facing down. As you breathe in, sweep it overhead. And as you breathe out, take it back to your sides. Breathing in overhead, breathing out back to your sides. Breathing in, so allow the shoulder to lead the body and open as it comes back and as it comes forward. The next time it comes forward, sweep it all the way up to the ceiling, stretching the fingertips up to the sky. And pause and breathe here. So to come out, we're going to soften that front leg, push through the front foot to lift us up, and then step towards the fronts of the mats once more. Good. I'm going to step back with the left foot again this time, but this time not such a big step back. Just turning to make sure I'm not going to turn my back to you. So the left foot has stepped back. This time we want both hips facing forwards. We're going to come into Pavriti Trikonasana. So with both hips facing forward, breathing in, stretch the arms up to the side. And we're going to turn the body towards the front leg. So we're turning the body to the right, not turning away from the front leg, we're turning towards the front leg. Keep the back heel down, keep the back heel planted, energy through your back heel. And then from here, we're going to stretch away with the left hand and bring the left hand to either the leg or to the floor outside your right foot. It's fine to use blocks once more if you want to come to the floor but it's not quite there. Just use a block or a stack of books Take the hand down, drive the back heel down and lift up with your fingertips of the opposite hand. Pavriti Trikonasana. When you're ready to come out, soften that front leg once more, push into that leg, undo the twist and step forward. Good. Now step back with the right foot. Again, just a decent stride. Hips are facing forward. Breathe in, take the arms out to the side. Breathe out, turning towards your front leg. And see how far you can get that twist. It really doesn't matter how close to the floor you come, as long as you can get this twist. So we're twisting with the belly, the ribs, the shoulders, the arms. And it might be that you simply take the hand down to the leg and you work here. Oops, excuse me, lost my balance. Okay, and you can always then begin to work your way gradually down the leg. Okay, but the posture is still the same. So wherever you reach, coming down into your Pavriti Trikonasana, keep the back heel planted, keep energy through those top fingertips and breathe. Drawing the belly in towards the spine, helping you rotate even deeper into the twist. When you're ready to come out, turn the face down. Bend that knee, push into the foot to lift you up, undo the twist and step forwards to the front of your mat. So from here, breathe in, stretch up to the sky, breathe out, take a forward fold. Breathe in, lift the heart and breathe out. We're just going to step back with the right foot, but step back a long way. So we're coming into a deep lunge. Allow that back knee to come down. So one hand either side of the front foot. So you've got the left foot forward. Just take a couple of breaths here to align your knee over your ankle, okay? And then we're going to be thinking about dropping the pelvis down and taking this front knee forward. Driving that front knee forward, pelvis dropping down towards the floor. Good. Tucking the back toes under, just hover that back knee an inch from the floor. Not very much at all, just an inch, it will make all the difference. Keep that front knee moving forwards and think about taking your knee back towards your back toes. It may just be a thought, but have that thought and make it work deeply. And then place your knee down wherever it reaches. Good. And now take your hands onto your front knee. So being cautious in your lumbar spine, we don't want any pinching in the lumbar spine. So you can either stay forwards or begin to lift up with the chest. All the time thinking about extending the front of the body. We're lifting, the pelvis is staying down, everything else is lifting. And we lift using the muscles of the body to lift our body up and roll the shoulders back and down. And you can have this effect whether you're forwards or whether you're deeply back. So if your lumbar spine's playing up, then stay forwards, but still think about taking that collarbone forward, roll the shoulders back and down. Otherwise, you can begin to lift the chest, roll the shoulders back and down, pelvis is sinking down all the time. Lifting the chest up, taking the shoulders back and down. If that's okay, the chin can lift, you can float the hands up to the sky, extending the fingers up, thumbs pointing back. And if all is well, push the back heel away to lift that back knee off the floor. And then face forward, take the back knee carefully down to the floor, take both hands down to the floor, either side of the left foot. Untuck the back toes. While we're here, we're just going to do a little bit of hip opening. So I'd like you to place your left hand on your left knee and allow your left knee to drop out to the side. I'm just going to turn to face the camera so that you can see what's happening in my front knee. So left hand to left knee, and we're allowing that left knee to come out to the side. So we're coming onto the outside of the foot. If your knee's okay, you can begin to encourage this hip open with this hand. We're looking for this external rotation through the thigh. Okay. The next thing I'd like you to try, if that's okay, take your left hand in front of your shin, and we're just going to adjust. So we're still on the outer edge of this foot, but weight through both hands now. And we're going to think about dropping the right hip down. Okay, so this leg is just relaxed pretty much, and what we're doing is actively taking the right hip down towards the floor, and see if that gives you an extra increased opening in the hip. If that feels straightforward for you, then feel free to begin to walk the foot over towards the right hand, always encouraging this right hip down to the floor. If your hips are feeling great and your knees still comfortable, you might bring the leg all the way to the floor. Okay, all the time thinking about this right hip moving down. That's the movement that will get the stretch that we're looking for. Good, and breathe. And then when you're ready to come up, walk that foot back into your lunge position now. Tuck the back toes under, push through the hands, and lift yourselves into downward facing dog. Take a stretch out here in the legs. And then we're going to step the right foot forward. So step the right foot in between your hands, drop that back knee down, and take a few moments to align that front knee over the ankle. One hand either side of the foot, working that front knee forwards. Good. Tuck the toes of the back foot under and hover that back knee just an inch. Keep the front knee moving forward and think about taking that back knee towards the toes of the back foot. Keep that front knee moving forwards and then place the knee down. Fantastic. Dropping the pelvis to the floor, the hands come to the knee. Once again, you can stay deeply folded over your leg, or you can come up as high as you feel comfortable. All the time thinking about lengthening the front of the body, lifting up with the collarbones while the pelvis moves down. If it helps, you can even place your hands on your hips and use the weight of your hands to keep your pelvis down as you lift the torso out of your hips. Shrug the shoulders actively behind your back. So we want the upper back muscles to be activated. So really draw those shoulder blades together. Lift the upper chest, roll the shoulders back and down. Lift the chin and float the hands up to the sky. If all is well, then you can push the back heel back to lift the back knee. Take the thumbs a little further back in space if you can. Keep lifting up through the chest. And when you're ready to come down, take that back knee down, hands to the knee, hands to the floor. Untuck the back toe, and we'll just do that same hip opening on the right side. So I'm facing the camera once more. Lift the right hand to the right knee and allow the knee to come out so that you come up onto the outer edge of that front foot. And it might be that just that weight through the hip is enough. If you do want to encourage it, feel that you're encouraging this opening, this external rotation through that top thigh. And then we're going to take the right hand, arm in front of the right shin, allowing that knee to stay falling out to the side, but actively encouraging that left hip down to the floor. And once again, depending on your hip flexibility, your foot's going to either be towards your right hand, or if your hips and your knees feeling okay, you can walk that foot over towards your left hand. And there's no point coming all the way over if this hip lifts. It's much better to stay in this lifted, elevated position and actively drop that left hip down to the floor. That's where you'll find the stretch. And when I say drop, I mean actively move it down. So I'm pushing my left hip down towards the floor. And then perhaps moving a little deeper, finding that opening in the hip. And when you're ready to come up, push into the hands, walk the foot back into your lunge position, both hands on the floor, tuck the back toes under and lifting into downward facing dog, taking a stretch out here. And then bringing your knees onto the floor, take your hips back to your heels. Good. And we're going to work with some drills that will move us towards a handstand position. Before anybody turns the video off, know that even if you have no interest whatsoever in coming into a handstand, or you don't think you can come into a handstand, it's really not important. The drills and the preparation that we do as we work towards handstand are beneficial for so many other things that we do in yoga and generally strength for everyday life. So bear with me, work through the prep and the drills, and then as we come a little bit deeper, feel free to pause or repeat some of the previous drills. So the first thing we're going to work on is our wrists. So we always want to warm up our wrists before we come into handstand or most weight-bearing postures. So come into a comfortable seated position to start with. Take your arms in front of you and make fists with your hands, and then circling your fists round. So perhaps 5 to 10 circles in one direction, and then 5 to 10 in the opposite direction. So turning the direction. Good. And then extend the fingers wide and make fists. Extend, make fists. Really active, so do this like you mean it. And then go a little faster. And as you go faster, it's almost as if you're flicking water off the tips of your fingers. Go faster, perhaps move the arms overhead as you go even faster, just for a bit of a distraction. Keep going. And release and give them a shake out. And then we're going to come onto all fours. So come into cat once more. And we're going to move the weight forwards over the wrists. So checking that your fingers, you want your fingers spread and the balls of the fingers pressing down all the time. Move it over towards the right and then back. Over towards the left and then forwards. So describing a big circle around your wrists. Keep the arms as straight as you can and keep the balls of the fingers in contact with the mat all the way around. So you'll notice when we come to the sides that one side of the hand will want to lift. Keep it glued down. And then reverse the circle, so going in the opposite direction. Really paying attention to your wrists. Is there any point in that circle that feels less than comfortable? Perhaps you can push through the hands a little bit more to take that discomfort away. Good. Come back to the centre. Spread your fingers, push the balls of the fingers actively down towards the floor. And we're going to lift the heels of the hands and lower. And lift. And lower. If they don't both come up at the same time, do one at a time. Once again, I'd recommend between 5 or 10 of these. And then release, take the weight off your hand, give your hands a bit of a shake out. And we're going to come into puppy pose to start to open the shoulders. So coming up onto your knees,
And we want to keep the hips over the knees as we walk the hands forwards. So avoid the temptation to drop back with the hips or come too far forward. Keep the hips over the knees, walk the hands as far away as you can without slipping, and then begin to sink the chest down. The arms stay active, so the hands are pressing into the floor, my elbows are lifted off the floor and sinking the chest down. If your chest comes down easily, then perhaps lift up onto your fingertips and once again create some more space to sink the chest down towards the floor. And breathe. Draw the belly in so you're not arching too much in the lumbar spine. And then lifting up, walking the hands back to your heels. The next thing we're going to do is to work some shoulder strength. Coming into cat once more, shoulders above the wrists. If you allow the chest to sink down to the floor, keep your arms straight, but allow your chest to sink down. Notice how your shoulder blades come towards each other behind your back. Okay? And then we're going to separate the shoulder blades, push into the hands. How far apart can you get your shoulder blades? They slide round the sides of your body as you push your upper back towards the ceiling. So with control, moving between those two extreme positions, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other and then pushing the upper back to the ceiling so that there's maximum distance between your shoulder blades. So do that 2 or 3 more times, building strength in the shoulders as you do. Keep your arms as straight as you can. Good. And the next posture, I'm going to turn so that you can see my shoulders. We're going to come into downward facing dog. And we're going to work with elevating the shoulders. So taking your hips back to your heels, push through the hands, lifting into downward facing dog. So in a usual downward facing dog, we'd have a nice long neck, sinking our shoulders, our armpits down towards our toes. When we're working in handstand, we want to push actively through the hands and actually lift the shoulders towards the ears and wrap the triceps around. So if you can see the difference, maximum length in my neck, shoulders are relaxed. And then what we want in handstand is push through the hands, take the shoulders in towards the ears and wrap the triceps around. It's almost like your armpits want to come together. Good. So give that a go. Pushing through the hands, elevating your shoulders so that your ears come to your shoulders and wrap the triceps and hold. And then take your knees down to the floor. Good. So those drills are great even if you're not working towards handstand, they're just great strength drills. If you want to come a little bit further, then we can come to the wall and we're going to come into downward facing dog at the wall. So you want to have your toes touching the wall, come into cat, tuck your toes under, lifting into downward facing dog. So spread the fingers, push through the ball of the fingers and lift your left leg up the wall. Tuck the toes under so that your leg's active. You're pushing through your hands and then we're going to hover the foot. Just hover, don't be tempted to lift both feet just yet. This is where you're going to build strength. Keep pushing through your hands, opening in your shoulders and then allow the foot to come down and change sides. So right leg up the wall, plant the hands, elevate the shoulders, remember, so ears by the shoulders, push through the foot and lift and hover that left foot. And place the foot down, both feet down, release the knees to the floor and give your wrist and your shoulders a bit of a break. Okay, So they're great drills for coming into handstand. If you wanted to come a stage further, you can come and lift both feet onto the wall. The important thing is, as soon as you lift both feet, you need to engage the core muscles. So we go from what we often see in handstand is this hollow, this kind of banana position. What we actually want is to knit these muscles together, draw the pubic bone up towards the collarbone. So we're actually in this hollow dish shape. So if you are going to bring both feet up the wall, make sure you remember that to engage, lift and draw in. Okay, so we'll go through it. Feel free just to pause and have a break if you don't want to go this far. So downward facing dog, 1 foot lift. Remember, draw the belly in, push through the hands, lift the other leg. As soon as this starts to happen, you need to come back out. Push through the hands, engaging those core muscles to lift up. And gently stepping back down. So once again, practicing that drawing in here, pushing through the hands, and you'll be in handstand before you know it. Great. So resting down now, coming down to your mats, away from the wall, and just have a rest in child's pose for a little while. So take your hips to your heels, lower your body down on your thighs, forehead either to blocks or to the floor, and resting the arms down by your sides. Good, breathing in and slowly coming up. The last posture we're going to practice, we're going to come into gomukhasana, which is where we're going to use some of that hip opening that we did earlier. So coming into a seated position with your knees bent and the soles of the feet on the floor in front of you. Cross your ankles and hold on to your feet. Draw your feet a little bit closer. So if you can hold on to your feet, see if you can balance back. So your ankles are crossed, you're balancing on your sit bones. Lift the feet up. Hold on to the outside of the feet so the toes are pointing to the ceiling. And then allow your knees to come out to the sides. So we've got a cross position with our shins. And we're flexing the feet at the ankles so the toes are pointing up to the sky. And then if you're okay here, you can begin to draw the knees and the ankles towards you a little bit further. Perhaps hold onto the soles of the feet, drawing yourself in, and perhaps taking the feet apart, drawing them a little closer. Place the feet down on the floor and undo the legs, coming into Dandasana. Okay, so let's take the right leg, and there are a number of modifications we can do for gomukhasana. You can take the right foot across the left leg and come into this figure 4 with your legs. So allow the knee to come down, flex the foot. Just have the shin above the knee so that you're not pressing on the knee too much. Okay, and if that feels okay and your hips and your knees is feeling safe, you can draw the ankle over, and you'll notice that this right knee stacks over your left knee. Okay, once again we want to keep the feet flexed. Okay, so any stage on that journey is absolutely fine. If that feels okay, then you can swing onto your left side and bend the left leg. And then begin to settle your hips in between your 2 heels. So you want the left hip the left foot on the outside of your right hip, your right heel on the outside of your left hip. If you find that you can't quite get the hips settled and one hip stubbornly remains lifted, then I'd encourage you just to straighten this leg back out. Okay, so we get this nice figure 4 shape with the leg. Okay, so wherever you are, whether you've got both legs bent in or just one, breathing in and sit tall, allow the hands to come down, and breathing out, begin to soften over that front leg. It doesn't really matter how far you come. I'd like you to feel some softness in the spine. So if both knees are bent in, you can just place the palms of the hands on the soles of the feet. If you've got one leg straight, just one hand on the sole of the foot, the other hand on the floor. And then we're going to soften and fold over. If you do fold forwards, then make sure your hips stay down on the floor. You can take your hands out to the sides, softening and folding down. So the head is relaxed, the neck is long. No matter how far you come forwards, even if you're simply rounding the back in a relatively upright position, that's absolutely fine. Just feel soft in the shoulders, soft in the head, soft in the arms. And breathing in and coming up. If you're feeling comfortable here, we can introduce the shoulders into Gomukhasana as well, seeing as we've already done some shoulder stretches. So we've got the right leg on the top, so lift your left hand up to the sky and bend the elbow. Take the palm of your hand to the mid upper back. Your right hand, swim around behind you. Take the elbow down and see if you can't meet the fingers together behind your back. If they don't meet, you can use a strap or a belt or a sock, anything you have handy. I'm just going to turn around so you can see. So top hand comes over, bottom hand comes under, and we interlace the fingers behind. Now you can see that if you had a belt, you could hold a belt. It could be anything as long as it allows you to pull on. And once again, you can then fold forwards from here. And then when you're ready to come up, breathing in and coming up, releasing the legs and coming back into Dandasana. So let's go to the other side. Once again, finding the modification of the legs that works for you. So the right ankle crossing the right knee, finding this figure 4, and it might be that this is where you want to stay. Just find a comfortable position with your ankle and your knee. If that's okay, you might come a little bit further, bring the outside of the foot onto the floor, or bring it a little bit further so the hip actually, the heel actually comes into the hip. So you can stay here with one leg in position, and you can take your forward fold easily from here. Wherever you come into that forward fold is fine, just with one leg. If you want to bring the other leg over, then rock onto your right hip, bring your left heel in. And once again, just have a play. If your hips don't settle down easily between your feet, just straighten out that bottom leg. Good, breathing in here and breathing out, folding, softening down. So the head can hang down, back begins to round, and you can take your hands out to your sides. Feeling your hips beginning to release, beginning to let go. It's fine to stay here and rest, or if you want to come up and introduce the arms, Then gently lift yourselves up. Lift your left hand up. Bend the elbow and the left hand comes in between your shoulder blades. Right hand, sorry, that's your right hand. Your left arm sweeps around and behind. So your right hand should be up, your left hand should be below. Interlace fingers or find a belt or a sock or a tie. And then you can forward fold from here. So breathing deeply into your shoulders, breathing deeply into your hips. And then when you're ready to come up, breathing coming up, releasing your arms, releasing your legs. And because both of those are asymmetric postures with the hips and the shoulders, we're going to even up both things, coming into a diamond shape with your legs. So a very loose cobbler. So take the feet quite a long way from your pelvis. And then rock over onto or over your sitting bones. Rocking backwards and forwards, side to side. Gently resting down into a relaxed forward fold. Once again, it doesn't matter how far deep you come into this posture. For some people, their foreheads are going to be resting in the soles of the feet. For others, simply resting here with the head hanging, the shoulders relaxed, the arms resting wherever they comfortably come. So wherever you come to is absolutely fine, but there's no pulling. So a nice, gentle, gravity-fed forward fold. Good, breathing in, slowly coming up. And settle yourselves onto your mats in Shavasana. So from your seated position, have a lay down on your backs, coming into Shavasana. Know that it's fine to come into any other more comfortable position that feels better for you. So taking a little bit of time lying down, adjusting your shoulders behind your back, tuck your tailbone under and bring the arms a comfortable distance from your sides with the palms facing up. Feel that you have space in the back of the neck, so moving the crown of the head gently away from the shoulders, drawing the chin in towards the throat a little. Feeling balanced, supported by the floor. The legs are a comfortable distance apart. Knowing it's fine to draw the knees up and bring the soles of the feet on the floor if that feels better for your lower back. Your eyes are gently closed, soft behind the eyelids. Now take a few deep breaths. Relaxing on each out-breath. With the body completely comfortable, following the breathing cycle completely. A comfortable in-breath, hold for a second or two, perhaps a slightly longer out-breath, and hold the breath out for a second or two. And just follow that breathing cycle for a couple of minutes. Concentrating on the whole cycle, but especially thinking of relaxing, letting go on each out-breath. Relaxing and letting go on the out-breath. Following the whole breathing cycle. That's good. Now relaxing the breathing process. Relinquish all control over your breathing and allow the breath to happen naturally. So now we're going to take the awareness around the body, relaxing each and every part. So firstly, taking your awareness into your right hand, just your awareness, staying comfortably still, just the awareness, being aware of your right hand. Good. Now become aware of the right thumb, the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the little finger. The palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, the right armpit, the right side of your body from the armpit to the hip. Now take your awareness to your left hand, the left thumb, index finger, the middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger. Palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, the left armpit, the left side of the body from the armpit to the hip. Now take your awareness into your right foot. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, the little toe, bottom of the foot, top of the foot, the heel, the ankle, the lower leg, the knee, and the upper leg. Awareness into your left foot now. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, the little toe, bottom of the foot, top of the foot, the heel, the ankle, the lower leg, the knee, and the upper leg. Now take your awareness to your back, the lower right side of your back, the middle right side of your back, the upper right side, the whole of the right side of your back, the lower left side of your back, the middle left side, and the upper left side, the whole left side of the back. Now take your awareness to the front of the body, the right side of the abdomen, the right chest, and around the right collarbone, the whole of the right side of the front, the left side of the abdomen, the left side of the chest, around the left collarbone, the whole left side of the front, your shoulders, right shoulder, the top of the right shoulder, the left shoulder and the top of the left shoulder, right side of the neck, the left side of the neck, back of the neck and the throat, the underside of the chin and the chin itself, the lips, teeth, gums, the tongue, lower jaw relaxing, right side of the jaw and the left side, the whole of the jaw relaxing. Become aware of the right cheek, the right nostril, the right eye, the right side of the forehead, left cheek, left nostril, left eye, and the left side of the forehead, the whole right side of the head, the whole left side of the head. Think about your whole body now, your whole body, the whole of the right leg and the whole of your left leg, both legs together, the whole of the right hip, whole of the left hip, the whole pelvic area, the right hand side and the left side of the back, the whole of the back, the whole of the back, the right side of the front, left side of the front, the whole of the front of the body, the whole of the front of the body. Now think of the whole right arm and the whole left arm, both arms together, both arms together, both shoulders, the neck and throat, the whole right side of your face, the whole left side of your face, the whole face, the whole face, the whole of the scalp. Think of the whole of your body as relaxed now. The whole of the right hand side of the body from the toes to the top of your head. The whole left hand side of the body from the toes to the top of your head. The whole front of your body from the toes to the top of your head. The whole back of your body from the toes to the top of your head. Think of the whole body completely relaxed. The whole body completely relaxed. Being comfortable, being content, lying on your mat, the body completely relaxed, the mind still and calm. Knowing that my voice will guide you. Be comfortable lying here for the next few moments, enjoying these feelings of calm, peaceful stillness. You know that in a moment we're going to gently draw ourselves out of our relaxation. But when we do, these feelings of calm, stillness will stay with you, that they'll last for the rest of the day and into the future. Being aware of your body lying on your mat, fully supported by the floor. And perhaps now taking a couple of deeper, longer breaths, enjoying the feeling that the in-breath brings, feelings of renewed energy, renewed vitality, and allowing that energizing breath into your fingers, your toes, your hands and feet, gently moving the head from side to side, and now taking a stretch in any way that feels good for you. Feel free to draw the knees up onto the chest, move the back from side to side, use the mat to support you. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your side, taking a couple of breaths here. When you're ready to come up, pushing up into the hand, coming into a comfortable seated position. Drawing your hands together at prayer position. Namaste.